All right, welcome to room 236, distance learning. I'm going to show you how you should access all of the different links and assignments that are on this whole slideshow. This is your learning for the week. This is everything that you need to do. Let's get going. So on the first slide, the second slide are the office hours for parents. You're going to click on this link right here. So this Google Meet is actually an active link. You can click on it and it'll take you to Google Meet website. You'll use this nickname, Room 236 Rivers Office Hours, at that time, and then I'll be able to live and video answer some of your questions. Monday, I'm going to host 3 different times, 8 to 9, 10:30 to 11. You can read those there. And then normally I'll host from 10:30 to 11. All right, that'll stay on there. On this slide, every week, there'll be a little video from me with a message on, hey, how's it going? I was really looking forward to you doing this learning. This is something that's changed. So the current video that's here is from the first week that we were on this whole quarantining time. So it's not for the current week, but I still wanted students to see it and see what life was like 2 weeks ago. Here is a list of all of the community circles that I will host on Zoom meeting. Each day you can see the time. This week I'm going to try doing a different time. So Monday's at 9:30, Tuesday 11, Wednesday 1, Thursday 2, and Friday 9. I wanted to do that to see if I could get students coming in at different times and see if I could get the whole class at a certain time. Whatever time worked best, I'll use for the following week and try to keep it consistent. The student can use this link here and go directly to the Zoom meeting website. They will need to put in this ID code and this password, and it's actually the same every time we have this meeting. But they can always come back here, use the link, and then also use the ID and password. All right, up next. All of the information that's coming up can be done in any order that the student wishes. CNN 10 is something that we did as a class every day, and we've changed the times a day that we've used it. But this time I made a journal on Book Creator for students to respond to, because I know that we had a journal at school and now we don't have that anymore. So students can access that link right here on what the Book Creator looks like, and then also how to make their own copy of it, because I made a template and I want them to use it. So they can click on this link, and then it teaches them how to make a copy of it. They'll need this library code. Once they've done all that, they'll be ready to watch CNN 10. This slide right here, next one, looks very similar to what we've had on our slide every single day. This is another active link to CNN 10 News. It is not the link for each day's video because they're made each and every day, but students can go to that and then watch the video for the day that they are on. And then they're going to respond on the Book Creator journal that they've made a copy of. Math, every day they're going to respond on Seesaw. So I have made active links from these Seesaw images, just not this one. So this is a little how-to video on what's to be expected if they forget from watching me here. As I said in the email, there are 5 different tasks for students to complete by the end of the week. This week, they can do any of the tasks in any order. So the number task does not say what the actual question is, but when they click on this link, they go to the assignment, they can view the instructions, and then they can respond to it on Seesaw. Each of these are really deep and rich math tasks that should take your student a while to respond to. And then I would say about 15 minutes for the student to think, respond to, and then they can do some independent practice on the following page. These are some ideas for their can do. So the must-do activities I will grade, I'll give feedback on. The can-do I'm going to check up on, but students don't have to do them. Students are familiar with iReady ST Math. I've also created a course for them to start on code.org. I believe it's course D. And Prodigy, I've also made a class for students. So if you, if you join, use the link Prodigy on the math one. Again, these are all active links, so the student can directly click on this and go to the link. Then they can join the classroom and I can track their progress as well. They also can play together, so it's pretty fun. With writing, students are going to access the book creator here. And I have made another template for their writing this week. So they need to make a copy of this distance learning writing journal. And each day there's a different page that I want them to respond to. I'm wanting them to practice how to respond to these writing journals in Book Creator so that we can work on our informational writing and they can then make their own informational book. It'll look really cool on both a science topic and then a social studies topic, depending on how long we're here. I have another link with a video for making a copy of a Book Creator book if students don't understand how to do it. The general concept is that each day one maybe, they respond to what have you been up to, day 2, what brings you joy, and all of those again are on Book Creator. I have in reading, I definitely want them to listen to a read aloud each day and I want them to do independent reading. I don't have access to my read alouds from school and I will this week. So next week you'll have videos of me and maybe some guest stars reading books to you. But this week I just wanted to give you some exposure to different famous people reading book titles that are really diverse and rich. So next week there'll be some vocabulary and some questions for you to chew on. This week you just get to practice listening. So just listen to one a day. There's 5 different ones for each day of the week. I encourage you to do 20 minutes of reading for pleasure, and you can do that on a variety of platforms. I provided you with a timer if that helps. Your can-dos, these are a variety of ways that you could practice your reading skills. So you could listen to reading. They all know how to get onto Epic, but some other really cool things for students to listen to are on Wonderopolis. Wow in the World is a podcast. Brains On is a podcast, but Why is also a podcast. And they're all structured for curiosity of kids. Partner reading, they could read with another kid in the house or a parent. These are a lot of online options that they could use, and they're all on ClassLink, but they could also just partner read at home. Coming up, I'll have a way for them to document how they are using this time. But for now, I just want them getting used to this routine. They could read to self, they could free write on Google Slides and journaling at home, or they could do some iReady practice. Now, some students are required for some Lexia, so this is that time for them to do it. Finally, the most fun part of the week that I'm excited for is called distance learning or weekly distance learning. So each week, I want students to write a question or a goal in the box. So students are going to erase my example and respond with their own example. If you need some ideas, this is a link, what is WDL? And here are some ideas, another link to a Google document. Both are Google documents that students should have access to only to read. So my goal for the week was Miss Rivers will learn how to do the Renegade dance and record herself doing the dance for her students. I did, and it's embarrassing. Students also need to log how they are working towards that learning and that goal. They need to work on it 4 hours throughout the whole week. They can break that time up as much as they'd like. So if they want a 3, they're going to work 4 hours. If they want a 2, they're going to work 2 to 3 hours. They're going to document how much time they're spending and what they're spending it doing here. There's a rubric link again right here for students to access. Finally, students get to present what they've learned on Seesaw. So this is another active link, Seesaw. And when they click on it, it goes to the assignment for them to post to. I provided another rubric for what I'd like and expect from them from this presentation here. And I also gave an example of what it looks like to do a presentation on Seesaw for those students. This is Miss Rivers doing the Renegade. I showed it here. and it's also on Seesaw. Finally, the last slide says feedback. So right here is a Google form that I'd like for you to click at the very end of the week to let me know how it went. I know there's going to be a lot of bumps. I fully expect that I have made many mistakes in my links, and that it might be challenging, and I want to do all that I can to help you. I'm trying to make some structures that we can use for the following weeks and potentially longer, and I want this to be accessible and challenging for students. So that should be everything on these slides. I hope it makes sense. I hope that help you navigate it. You can rewatch this as many times as you want, and I will post a new one next week. Good luck.